your history it wasn't like Jerry Seinfeld, who spent years and years and years doing stand-up and perfecting himself and getting you just sort of went from
an assistant editor on Iron Chef to being on Saturday Night Live.
Tell him that story.
I was an assistant editor on Iron Chef. And I worked as a post PA on a lot of shows. I think one of the guys I worked with, Matt Bordofsky, I don't know if he's here. Matt! Right there, Matt Bordofsky is a guy I worked with forever, and he's one of the funniest guys in the world. And but he can attest. I was a piece of shit, and I was just like this post PA, and I was trying to do improv, at Second City, LA, and then Megan Mullally came to our show because her brother-in-law was in the show that we did, like our final graduation show, and she went, "You're really funny," and I said, "Oh, thank you." And then I was in my edit bay at Iron Chef America a month later, and she called me and said, "Hey, I just had dinner with Lorne Michaels, and I told him about you, and he wants to meet you." And I was like, "Okay." And she goes, "So you should tell your agent." And I started laughing. I go, "I don't have."
You didn't even have pictures.
I didn't have headshots. I had nothing, and I was like, "Okay." And so I went and met Lorne Michaels, and I'm sitting in his office, and I go, "Well, this is a thing I'll be able to tell my grandkids. I met Lorne Michaels once or whatever." And I went and met Lorne Michaels, and he just went, "Do you know why you're here?" I go, "Yeah, Megan Mullally saw me a thing," and he said, "Bill, I was on a boat once, and there was a guy on the boat who was being funny, and he was being funny the way that Bill Murray is funny." And I nodded, and he went, "And I thought to myself, I know Bill Murray, Right. And he went, "Well, it was nice meeting you." And that was it. And then I'm on a plane on the way back, what the was that? And then I get a call saying, they want you to audition, and I auditioned and then during that time I was totally calm because I was like, this is never gonna happen. This is so fun. And I got a manager, and I went to meet my manager, and her babysitter. We were waiting on her babysitter to show up, and the babysitter showed up so she and I could go have lunch so she could be my manager. And her babysitter, she's like, "Oh, this is another of my clients. She's an actress, whatever." And it was Kristen Wiig.
Oh,
was the babysitter.
Really?
So that's how I met Kristen. So Kristen was like, "Hey, how are you?" And chasing the kids around, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, bye," And then I became, and then with that, and then she called and said, "I got the show," and then she went, "Hey, you're not gonna believe this. My nanny got the show." And then I was like, "Oh, okay."